Good evening, everyone. DSP here. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Tuesday, the 7th of July, 2026. And oddly enough, my final streaming day, at least consecutively for this week. I will be back on Thursday, but it's very bizarre that I would have a interruption in my streams in the middle of the week like this. We'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, let's talk about how today went. So first off, today was definitely a day of positivity and celebration, being that as of last night, I got my chat back. No more freezing chat. The idiot who was doing it basically got exposed. YouTube researched it, figured out what they were doing, and completely took away their ability to do so. Therefore, guess what? I'm back in business and full capacity, and everything was great. Attendance today was actually quite good for both streams, which I was pleased at, and we had a very positive time. However, to be honest, was a little bit on the slower side for support. And I think the reason was because the last few days with all the chat nonsense going on, people had really rallied for me, right? They were really sticking up for me and rallying and having a good time. And there was overwhelming extra support the last few days. And because of that, it kind of tempered out today, and that's all right. Let's talk about how the streams went and my opinions about it, because to be honest, I do think that maybe there's some changes in the works, okay? So today we did a DSP morning show. Unlike the last few days where there was like big news and stuff to talk about, today it was just kind of a celebration of the chat being back and starting to discuss things such as what should the next DSP tries it be? What should we maybe do for a marathon if I do one in August? What should we do for the next box of Pokemon cards that I open? And stuff like that. But it was mostly chill vibes, just an hour just hanging out. Right after that hour ended, we jumped into Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, now with Path Tracing mod enabled. This was actually my probably favorite stream that I've done of the game so far. Today, we went through a ton of Lost Bastille, unlocked the optional Belfry area, did the whole Belfry, then went into the rest of Lost Bastille all the way up to the Lost Sinner, and then started going to the Huntsman's Copse. And I'm just going to say this about the game. The hardest part about Dark Souls 2 are the enemies, the regular enemies. They are relentless. And there's rooms that are absolutely full of them just mobbing you. And unless you know that, you're just going to die. Like, you have no chance of surviving it the first time you run into it. You know, there's a room near Majula. And once you get a fragrant branch of yore, you can make a woman who's petrified be unpetrified. And then there's a latch or a button you're supposed to push to open the door. You hit the button, a ton of enemies come in behind you, insta-kill you. Like, what the? I didn't know that was going to happen, you know? So it's kind of trial and error in that way. But what's funny about it is most of the bosses I've one-shotted, even the tough ones. You know, like today we fought Ruin Sentinels, which everyone was dying to see me fight the Ruin Sentinels because everyone remembers my original Dark Souls 2 run and how they whooped my butt endlessly. I mean, I had to leave and then come back to fight them again later because I just couldn't beat them. Guess what? I think you can figure it out what happened this time, right? Same thing with the Belfry Gargoyles. Same thing with the Lost Sinner. Now, the thing is, I'm now using not only my flasks, but I'm using the life gems and things for these runs against the bosses. But for the most part, it's working out very, very well. It's hard, though. What's hardest are the stages and enemies because I can't see half the time because of the path tracing that's been enabled. So that end of the Lost Bastille, you know, the lead up to the Lost Sinner, you can't see anything at all. It's pitch black. So remember the giant monster that's in the water? You can't even see him. So it's crazy that you have to like dodge around and find stuff. I'm having to use the torch an insane amount of time, which is making the game infinitely more difficult because the torch is limited in this game. And I have to keep trying to find more torches to make progress. And I'm fighting bosses one-handed because I need the torch. Like I had to fight Lost Sinner one-handed. Without the torch, I wouldn't be able to see in the boss fight. So anyway, good stuff today, like good progress. Huntsman's Copse is kicking my butt, all right? But I know that we'll get past it and we'll get, you know, further in. So good stuff. And again, great attendance, okay? Support, over $100 of support, but we didn't hit multiple milestones. It wasn't as forthcoming as it had been previous streams. So we had one pack of Pokemon cards that was qualified to be opened, and I said, we're just going to save it. Since I'm now recording this as separate videos, we're just going to save it, and we're going to do it tonight as the late stream. You know, what are you going to do? That's what happens when, you know, it all hits kind of late, last minute. So that's what we did, basically, is we saved the pack for the late stream, okay? The late stream was TCG Card Shop Sim. Now, I said I wanted to have an update on the future. To be honest with you, I do feel like we're hitting the end game wall of Card Shop Sim. We sent out our $11,000 valued card that we pulled last time for grading. It got graded 10, and it was worth $63,000. Okay? So we're trying to sell it. No one bought it right away, and I said, I know what we could do. We could do a tournament, have it be the top prize, and when people enter the tournament, their entry fees equate to the value of the card. So it's a way to get people to buy the card, but not really. So I'm going to make that all that money once the tournament gets held. The thing is, it takes longer to get that many people to pay that much. So I think by the end of the night, we had 7 out of the 16 people registered. So probably next stream, we'll do the tournament and make $63,000 on this one tournament, which is going to be insane. So outside of that, what else did we do? We bought a whole new pack of cards and unlocked it with the license and started opening it. We streamlined everything that we were basically doing with stocking and everything. And basically, what I was saying to everyone was, outside of hitting maybe level 50 and getting the final cards unlocked, there doesn't look like there's much else left to do. And someone recommended, all right, once you do this crazy tournament, use the money to buy the scanner. The scanner costs $12,000. Then you could just scan the tags on the shelves, and automatically stuff will be reordered for you. You don't even have to do it manually anymore. It just makes the game insanely streamlined. So I'm like, okay. So here's the thing. Great attendance, great engagement. Everyone had a good time. Support, we made a little over $100. So again, we had the freebie pack because I'm playing TCG. We had the carryover pack from Dark Souls, and we had 1 pack qualified for tonight. So we did open 3 packs. We did get a hit, and it's an insanely low value hit. Not a great card. In fact, I'm almost positive we already had this one. It's only worth like $2. They can't all be winners, but this is what I mean. We didn't have anyone rallying to open packs or anything tonight. And I think what's happened is the hype and momentum slowed a bit because we had 3 crazy days of hype and momentum because of the chat freezing, and then I got it fixed. So today was kind of like, meh, kind of slow. It is what it is. I don't think that'll continue endlessly, but with TCG, what I said to everyone was, let's do one more stream and see how it does. I'm feeling like 1 or 2 more streams, we're basically going to hit the wall, and there's really not much left to do. So maybe next week, maybe the final week for TCG Card Shop Sim, and it may get retired. We'll see, okay? Particularly because it doesn't seem like there's massive hype for it anymore and people rallying to get packs open during it. So maybe it is time to retire it, okay? Thing is, we're going to need more for night streams because if you think about it, next week we're going to be doing Friday Night Fights again. That's cool. We're going to be doing some Pokemon Champions again. That's cool. But then if we do TCG, right, and that's ending, well, what else are we going to do for night streams? So we may next week do a stream or 2 where we explore Steam, we look for new games, we try to see if anything fits into the schedule and works. We'll have to see, okay? So I'm off tomorrow. I know it's weird. I'm actually off on Wednesdays 2 weeks in a row. Very weird, right? It's not my intention. It's simply because there's appointments that I can only get during weekdays. And because of that, we had to have a line like this. So I'll actually be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next week, and then off Wednesday again, if you can believe it. So how's it going to go? Well, I'm off tomorrow. When I return on Thursday, we're going to do a shortened level 1 podcast just to get everybody caught up. And then it's the premiere of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, which I'm very excited for. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is my 2nd favorite Assassin's Creed game of all time. I only played it the once when it was new. Particularly, I remember actually really liking the ship combat once I got into it and got better at it. And the plot is interesting. The characters are well written. It's just a good story and a good game. And this looks like it's going to be great with all the new improvements that they've done to it. I think it's going to be a great playthrough starting on Thursday's daytime stream. Thursday night, we're doing something unique. If you remember, if you were here or if you watched back my Indivestance Day Marathon, we went through a bunch of classic games. We basically looked them up online, graded them for quality, and also looked at pricing, right? We did that for most of my games, but there is one giant bin of original NES, some Super Nintendo, I think some Genesis, some PS1, and a few more. It's just full of games. And what I'd like to do on Thursday night is have a DSP Grades It Chill with Phil stream where we're going to hang out and I'm just going to sit there and grade those cards. I think that would be extra fun to just hang out with you guys for a couple of hours. I said cards, excuse me, grade those games. Sit there for a couple of hours, going through them, seeing what I actually have because I don't remember, cataloging it, and seeing if any of it has value. I'm almost positive that I have the original Mega Mans and stuff like that, and those could be worth a lot of money. So I think we will do that Thursday night as a special stream. Keep in mind, this week, Friday Night Fights returns on Friday. We're going to have the continuation of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, more Dark Souls 2, of course, Assassin's Creed Resynced. It's going to be a great week of good variety and fun. I hope you'll come back on Thursday and start a fun, fresh week. I know it's weird that I'm not here tomorrow. I guarantee you people are going to come by tomorrow and be like, oh, where's Phil? I didn't realize. But I'll be back Thursday, all right? Everyone, I want to say thank you for an outstanding short week. Thank you for toughing it out with me during this time when all of this was going on. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on Thursday. Good night. Peace out.